I'm Donnie Dunn, and this is a review of Ocean Rift for the Gear VR. Let's go. What's up guys, Donnie Dunn back here again, this time with a review of Ocean Rift for the Gear VR, powered by the S7 Edge. Love the phone, love the Gear VR, and now we're going to talk about whether or not I love this game and if it's worth the money. So today it's available in the Oculus store for $9.99. Let's get right to it. Imagine yourself instantly catapulted several hundred feet below the surface, maybe even 1,000 feet for some of the different options you can choose in there. You're underwater, you look up, you look down, nothing around you but ocean. You start to see schools of fish swim by you. You start to see jellyfish up in the distance there. And all of a sudden, you start hearing these noises off in the distance. The cool thing about Ocean Rift is using the touchpad on the side of the Gear VR, you can follow the noise. So you either swipe up or down to rise to the surface or dip down to the ocean floor, or you can swipe left or right to move yourself left or right in any direction. Some of the prehistoric underwater monsters that they have in this thing, you have to find them. And I learned that, I don't want to say the hard way, but I spent several minutes just waiting for one to go by and it didn't go by. So eventually I ended up going up a little bit higher, closer to the surface, and you start hearing the rumblings of it, and you're looking around, and some of the water's murky, it gets a little darker. The higher up you go, closer to the surface, you get a little bit clearer view. So you start hearing the sounds of this fucking thing, and then before you know it, this thing comes at you. You look right out of the corner of your eye and you see this son of a bitch and it kills you. The cool thing about these is it's never the same twice. You can always make it your own experience. And I learned that when I encountered the dolphins, when chasing down the humpback whales. I mean, it's really up to you on how relaxing or how in-depth you want to go with this. You can definitely make it different each pass through. So with the overview out of the way, let's get into the core part of this review. We're going to talk about graphics, sound, replay value, and we're going to talk about overall value for the money. Let's go. Graphics, this is one of the nicer looking Gear VR games. I'm going to give them a 4 out of 5. The detail on the sharks, the fish, the whales, the prehistoric monsters is great. Now, it's not true full motion life graphics that you might see in a high-end movie or a high-end blockbuster film, but it's pretty damn good, and you definitely feel like these beasts, these monsters are right in your face, they're right up next to you. So it's very impressive and one of the best looking games for the Gear VR that I've seen so far. The effects when you're sinking closer to the ocean floor or when you're rising up to the surface, how the water gets darker the lower you go, or how it gets brighter the closer you get to the surface, was a very nice touch. If you look up, you can see the waves ripple as you get closer to the surface. It's pretty good. So to reiterate, graphics, solid 4 out of 5. The only reason I didn't give them a 5 out of 5 is some of the detail on some of the creatures or some of the dolphins, whales, whatever you're looking at could be a little bit better, but it's still about as good as it gets for the infancy of these VR games. Sound quality hands down 5 out of 5. If you do not have your headphones on when you're in this app, it is not the same. You do not get the same sense of immersion. But if you put headphones on, earbuds, whatever you got, the better quality headphones you got, the better. You definitely feel like you're underwater. There were times where even I had to lift the headset off or take the earphones out because I almost felt a little bit too claustrophobic when I was down there. Especially some of the times where you get the shit scared out of you, like when you look at the prehistoric monsters. You encounter one of those sons of bitches, and it comes from out of nowhere, but you hear the sound at the last second. It really rattles you if you don't expect it coming, because the first time I went into that particular level, or stage, or setting, whatever you want to call it, I couldn't find it. I was looking around and like the shark, you're in a shark tank, you can see it come right towards you. Dolphins, The tiger sharks, they flow back and forth by you, but the prehistoric stuff, I had to go and look for one of those guys. So I looked for it and I found it, and it scared the piss out of me. With that said, the sound is a 5 out of 5 all day. From the nice effects to hearing yourself breathe, to the bubbles coming out of your oxygen mask, to the water swishing as you move throughout the underwater terrain. I mean, really nice touch, really well done. Sounds of the dolphins, sounds of the humpback whales. It really feels like you're underwater. So kudos to the people that made this game. Definitely a 5 out of 5 here. Replay value. As I alluded to when we were talking about the overview of this game, you're going to find yourself coming back to this over and over again, because each time you revisit a level, you can make it different based upon how you navigate that level. Whether you go closer to the surface, whether you stay closer to the floor, it's going to be different each time as long as you make it different. So the replay value is a 5 out of 5 here because it's not the same. Even if you stand still, the pattern of the fish is not the same. So everything is going to be slightly different each time you go in. Then you have the variety of the different fish, monsters, whales, shark that you can see. The replay value is top notch here, and I could definitely see this app providing you with hours of entertainment before you start to get bored. And finally, the value, the monetary value. Is this worth the $9.99 that you pay for it? My answer is a resounding yes. Yes, it is worth every penny. For launch titles and in the infancy of what is VR, this is a solid title, well worth the money. If you have any hesitations about getting this game, don't hesitate. Buy it. It's worth the $9.99. Money well spent. So if you're looking for some new games to purchase, this is a staple in your library. You're going to love it. From the replay value, the graphics, the sound, it's everything you would want in a VR game. Okay everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this review. Ocean Rift for the Gear VR, powered by the S7 Edge, in the Oculus Store today for $9.99. Worth every penny. I recommend you get it if you have not already done so. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and I want you guys to be aware of every time I upload a new video. Thanks to everyone for the continued support. I'm Donnie Dunn. Thanks for watching.